A very important aspect of business is catering to a particular need. Today, we are with Indo's Medley. Her name is Aisha from Kaduna State, is graduate of political science from Kaduna State University, the CEO of Indo's Medley Abuja, and Eat Out Sports in Garki. This young graduate dropped her certificate to pick up the art of entrepreneurship in a bid to satisfy a need of her special recipes and teas, and most especially to cater to the increasing populace of northerners in Abuja. Indo's Medley, also known as Aisha, is among millions of Nigerian youths who have picked up the craft of business in order to meet their daily needs. She produces things like teas, northern delicacies like donwake, girl, things that you generally would not see in a bougie restaurant to the northern populace in Abuja, and her watchword is affordability, and is an eat out spot where you can come, relax, enjoy variety of teas. She also makes household perfumery items like incense, mopping mist, body mist, and nice food. Trust me, I come back here almost every single week. So let's go and sit down and have an insightful conversation with Aisha Manufashi as she takes us through her journey on how she started, how she got here, and her various challenges. And I would encourage you to share this video with every other person around you who is looking for how to start a business and is clueless. Aisha has been in the game for a little over 4 years, and she would carry us through how her journey started.
Business in particular was birthed out of passion. I do a lot of things, like from the name of the business, in those medleys like a collection of several things, not just one particular product. But this tea business, cheers, started in the year 2019 during my final year in the university. Actually, the inspiration came from my love for kitchen, for making teas and cooking in general. And then my first tea was
Hibiscus?
no, it wasn't hibiscus, but it had no name. Actually, it was just Indo's tea, but very very spicy.
What did you mix?
I mix a lot of things, natural spices like cloves, cinnamon, cardamom, and diom palm. That's the gingerbread fruit, goruba. It's very very popular in the north, and believe me, a lot of people enjoyed it. So, but that tea didn't have a specific name. It was just Indo's tea. So I sat down and I started research, and based on the teas I was making, because I make different types of teas to consume, so I started selling.
Like this.
Yes, like this is Moroccan tea, and then that's hibiscus tea, and then the northern infusion.
Okay, northern infusion.
Yes, northern infusion. So this northern infusion is more like a combination of it's a tea we normally take whenever we like go to Kano or Katsina, because my family members also love tea a lot. So that was how. Though I added some of my things inside, different from the one we used to take from our family house.
So what has been like your major challenge so far?
I think in every business, the major challenge, or let me say the three major challenges are, that's where the issue of not even finance, what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. So if you're able to identify these three things, I think even though the finance is very very important, the financial capability is also important, but then if you're not able to understand these three things, you just end up doing the wrong thing. You may not really get it right.
So what do you produce? You make teas,
I make teas, I make northern delicacies, I make I make hot cereal as well. I make cream of wheat hot cereal. Unfortunately it's not here. You would have seen it, and it's very very delicious. It's served with milk and then some crushed berries on it, or coconut. It's very very it's fiber. It's very healthy and very very delicious.
your business?
The tea business or the general business?
General business.
I think when I was in SS2, SS3, because I've always loved money. Yes, making my own money actually. So that was how it started. And then when I was in remedials, when I got admission to Kaduna State University during my remedials, I started going to school, and I just noticed that I can actually sell something to students, that I can be making money every day.
You've been doing
So
this for a while.
yes, I started selling jewelries then in school. So every day I'm going for lecture, I go with my jewelries, during break or when we don't have lecture, I sell to people, like to students.
What do you say to an average Nigerian that feels like there's no job and I don't have capital to start a business? What would you say to them? Because you don't, it's not like you had a lot of capital, but you started. So how did you start? And what would you say to those people who have cold feet as regards launching out to start their own business?
I think the main thing is, first off, I'll talk about perseverance. And then, yes, because in every business, it doesn't just pick up one time.
Yeah.
You have to fail. And that, for me, I think failure is the mother of success, because every failure will actually, like, if you're really determined to do the business, will actually, like, motivate you more to, like, to work harder. And then it's also important for every average Nigerian to try and, like, identify their skills.
Yeah.
Yes, that's very, very important, because me, I don't just attach knowledge to just the book related stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, you can, like, you can even graduate with all the D's in this world and be able to produce something tangible with your D's, something that even people who had A's, like, could not achieve. So I think identifying your skills, and then think of how you be able to turn it into profit, one. And then secondly, is confidence. Don't let people, like, because no matter what you want to do in Nigeria, there are a lot of people, not even in Nigeria, generally in the society, some people will actually discourage you. But just know what you want and stick to it. Try hard. If you try severally, it doesn't work, then you can change something. It doesn't have to be one thing. And then when it comes to, like, most average Nigerians will say they don't have capital to start up a business, they can start with little. Because I started my jewelry business with just 3,000 naira.
3,000 naira.
3,000 naira in the year 2014. I was in remedials then in Kaduna. I went to the markets. My classmate then, like, she's older than me. She was older than me, and she's still alive. She's still older than me. So she took me to the market, because central markets. So we went there, and I was able to pick some pin earrings. That was how it started. So I picked pin earrings of 3,000 naira, and then it was on a Monday. On Tuesday, when I came, like, when I went to lecture, yes, I sold all, and I made 5,000 naira. So profit of 2,000 naira.
Yeah.
So I went back to the markets that same day to buy jewelries of 5,000 naira. And the jewelries of 5,000 naira, like, I sold all before Friday. So that was how the business started. From the jewelries, I started selling small veils in the hostel. Then from the small veils, I sold shoes, and I sold bag during my university time.
Entrepreneur, because you have been doing the work, venturing into different businesses, but you have decided to settle for this one. And according to what you have said, it is as a result of the passion that you have for food, and you decided to settle for this particular one. So in setting up a business in Abuja, because we know they'll tell you Abuja is very expensive and all that, what has been the major challenge in setting up this particular business?
Okay, I think the major challenge was getting the space. Because I looked for space for almost 8 months. I started looking for space since last year, December. But then I couldn't get. You try this, you try that, and then it's quite expensive also. Like, getting the space, number one. Yes, it's very, very expensive. And then the AMAC charges, the environmental, the procedure in Abuja, it's very unlike states.
Yeah.
So it's you just need, like, you need to have, like, certain amount of money, and then again perseverance comes in, because if you're not able to, like, endure, like, at a point in time you just lose interest and just say, okay, why not, let me just continue doing this business at home. And then before getting to this particular stage, you don't just say, okay, you don't just wake up one day and say, I want to start up a business, and I need to get a very, very fine space, a
You
very
start
nice
small.
city, and
You
you
start
start small,
small.
because when I started selling my teas like this package, this, you can still show them again.
This package thing.
Yes, I started catering for like small birthday parties.
But
Let's
people
say,
have birthday parties and they drink tea.
yes, just tea party, or let's say they have picnics. So I go there, I brew my teas. Yeah, I brew my teas in weddings, naming ceremonies and all that. So that was how, the business was just developing. Like, it was a trickle down effect, slowly but surely.
Yeah.
So
How were you able to get your first customers? Because the truth is, it's easier to start a business. It's easy to say start a business. But who were like your first customers?
again, that's where the issue of for home to produce comes in. You know your circle, you know how your environment is. For instance, this tea business can be profitable here, but somewhere else it might not.
Why do you think it's profitable here?
Yeah, because I think I started with what my circle actually like and appreciate. Not just my circle, actually my circle and the people around me. So that was how I said, okay, since it's tea and these northern delicacies that are not, seen everywhere. It's quite unique here in Abuja.
Even though it's not so unique, it's not so unique as it's for the word, but it's very expensive in conventional restaurants.
Of course.
When you walk, because there's this, I don't want to call the name of the place, but there's a place where they serve
I know.
where they serve tea. I'm wondering, why is this expensive? Usually it's just rice, beans and oil. You're not using tomatoes or anything, and just normal salad. The food in the north is quite affordable.
Yeah, it is.
To produce. So if you are selling it in a restaurant and you're making it very expensive, the idea behind the affordability of the northern food, the simplicity of northern food, our salads do not have cabbages. It's mostly lettuce,
Yes,
and tomatoes, cucumber, and that's
Onions.
it. Onions. So if you now want to, over garnishing can be a problem.
Yeah, it can.
So have you
Going
been
to
able to
change.
control the business and work around the competition, because your own is one of the most affordable teas, if not the most affordable tea in Abuja right now. So how have you been able to manage with competition?
What I did was, before I started this place, I actually went for survey, because I personally I take a lot of teas. So I take teas in the gardens. So I actually did survey on the prices, and then the cheaper the quantity, then the cheaper the price, then the higher the quantity is demanded.
Yes.
So that was how I was able to say, okay, if I can calculate my cost of production and then put like a reasonable profit, not so outrageous, that at least I can gain, and then my customers will also enjoy the service and will also enjoy the affordability, because the economy is quite not friendly now.
Yes.
So I was able to work around my cost of production, and then see how I can just put a reasonable profit, add a reasonable profit to the to my cost of production, and then that's how I got my selling price. And then again, sometimes most restaurants that sell their teas or food expensive, sometimes I don't blame them, because if you're not in the system, you will never understand.
Yeah, true.
Because forget that okay, you calculate your cost of production, you're buying ginger, you're buying lemongrass for so amount. You need to also calculate your services, because you have to pay your staff.
Yeah, and yourself.
You need a hang, and yourself as well. You need to keep money for like miscellaneous and investments. It's so not easy, and all these unnecessary charges people charge here in Abuja. So I think it's part of the reason why some of the restaurants, their food are quite expensive. Yes, because they need to pay their staff, even serviettes they provide for the services, serviette, toothpick. You need to calculate all this. These are things you need to like.
Did you do any business course?
No, I didn't.
You learned on the job.
Yes, I did not. I didn't, but before I started here, I did some consultations. I think it was just an oral education coverage.
Oh, okay. Me, I would say because of the population of the northerners in Because of the population of the Northerners in Abuja, this is a very good business idea. What would you say to somebody who wants to start a business? General advice. Somebody who wants they're not necessarily food business, but start a business in general. Start something. What would you say to them? Because as much as we preach 9 to 5, 9 to 5, 9 to 5, it's not so easy to get a 9 to 5 job. Now, because 9 to 5 is not easy, business as well can be tasking. What's that one advice that has helped you through your business to be able to navigate it? What's that one advice you can give to somebody who is starting out today?
Okay, the main advice is, I think, in every business, like before you go into anything, make sure you have passion for it.
Yeah.
I think that's very, very important, because if not for passion, I would have pulled back. I would have pulled back, honestly. If not for passion, I would have pulled back, because it's not easy. Like, and aside from passion, they should learn to manage the little resources they have, minimize capital and maximize profits. It's very, very important.
All right, thank you, Indo, for having us. Would at least I hope other people can see that it's very okay to start. If you want to, let me put a figure to it. If you want to start a business, like how much can you start a business with?
If I want to start a business,
Anybody that wants to start a business, how much can you use to start a business?
Start a business with as low as three. I don't even want to say 1,000 naira, because people say I'm exaggerating, but I think it's also possible. Okay, but you can start up your business with the economic situation as low as 3,000 naira. But it also
3,000
depends
naira.
on your cycle. Yes.
3,000 naira.
Yes. You can make it 3,000 naira. Like, it can be any, though it depends on what you want to sell. It depends on what you want to sell. If you want to start, like, okay, let's say jewelry business, you don't have to have it much, no. Let's say you buy a pack of pin earrings, let's say 2,500 or 3,000. You can sell it. Let's say if you're able to sell it 5,500 for, it depends on how much you buy it and then how much you're able to sell. So I think even the 3,000 naira is very okay.
So there's nobody, they shouldn't have an excuse for saying, oh, I don't have money, I don't have capital. You can actually start a business with 3,000 naira.
What is very, very important is, like I said earlier, is perseverance. And then you need to love what you're doing. Because if you don't have passion for it, honestly, it will get to a stage where you pull back. And that's just a fact.
All right, thank you so much, Aisha.
Thank you too, Kwati.
Yeah.